Trustee Hunley? Here. Trustee Parr?
Here.
Trustee Wilson?
Here.
May we have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Tilly. May we have a
Second.
second? Thank you, Mr. Flynn. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? Nope. Okay. The board will adjourn to closed session for discussion and possible action on matters of student discipline, property negotiations, litigation, public employment, employee discipline, dismissal, or release. Are there any public comments, Madam Clerk?
There have been no public speaker requests regarding closed session, Madam President.
Right on. We are adjourned to closed session.
testing.
Aloha ahiahi, good evening, and welcome to the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Governing Board meeting. It is June 26th at 6 p.m., and we would like to have Dr. Parr please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all very much. Madam Superintendent, if we can have a report from closed session, please.
Thank you. Under closed session action, conference with real estate negotiators, the board received information. Conference with labor negotiators, the board received information. Underneath the superintendent's evaluation, the board received information. Under employee discipline, dismissal, release, the board received information. And I'd like to go to the appointments. By a unanimous vote by our board, they officially appointed General Lampson as the principal of Alternative Education Programs effective July 14th, 2025. Yes, we can clap. Unfortunately, she was unable to be here this evening, but I know she's going to be watching this at home, so I'd like to tell you a little bit about her. Ms. Lampson is currently serving as a coordinator for the Panama Buena Vista Union School District in Bakersfield, California, overseeing the after-school program as a principal in charge of ASP programs. During her 13-year career, Ms. Lampson has also served as a kindergarten teacher and a sheltered English instruction kindergarten teacher. In recommending General Lampson for this position, one of her references wrote, General's leadership extends beyond the technical aspects of her role. She is an excellent communicator and problem solver who handles concerns and challenges with empathy and professionalism. She builds trust and with staff, students, and families, always striving to ensure that extended learning programs are inclusive, innovative, and aligned to the district's vision for student success. Ms. Lampson earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Westmont College in Economics and Business. She went on to earn a Master's of Arts in Education from San Diego Christian University, and she's currently enrolled in the Fresno Pacific to earn her CLEAR administrative credential. If you're watching, General, welcome aboard to FSUSD. We can clap again. Our next appointment this evening, by unanimous vote, the board has officially appointed Robin Settle as Assistant Director of Special Education. Ms. Settle brings over 2 decades of experience in both general and special education, most recently serving as Special Education Coordinator for San Mateo Foster City School District, where she provided direct support to 10 school sites spanning preschool through 8th grade. Her prior roles include principal of Turner Academy, a K-8 program for students with significant emotional and behavioral needs, and principal of Needham West, serving students in the 18 to 22 Special Education Transition Program. Earlier in her career, she served as a teacher on special assignment, structured autism teacher, and a general education instructor. Throughout her career, Ms. Settle has demonstrated expertise in instructional coaching, IEP compliance, litigation support, and crisis prevention. She has also supported district-wide professional development and served on multiple leadership panels, including discipline review boards and Title IX committees. One of her references wrote, I have been able to observe Robin interact with students and families, site administrators, and school staff. She is able to quickly build rapport and trust with others with clear communication and follow-through. Her strengths in communication are invaluable, especially in more contentious cases that require facilitated dialogue. That never happens here, don't worry. She works closely with her school teams to make student-centered decisions while balancing a systemic view of programming decisions. Ms. Settle is currently a doctoral candidate in organizational leadership at the University of the Pacific with a dissertation focused on how SELPA directors interpret and implement federal least restrictive environment policy. She also holds a master's in curriculum and instruction for special education and a bachelor's of arts in liberal studies from the same institution. Welcome, Robin, to the team. And there is nothing else to report from closed session.
Thank you very much, Madam Superintendent, and welcome to both of you. And thank you for taking us on. My brief report is, as we come to the end of Pride Month, I would like to thank all of our LGBTQIA+ students, families, faculty, and staff and community for always being the rainbows in our collective clouds. And on that note, I would like to ask our faculty, staff, members of the community to please join us on the board in extending a warm welcome to Ms. Ayana Polk, who is Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District's newest student board member and a 12th grade student from Fairfield High. Ayana brings a remarkable background in leadership and a clear vision for student advocacy. Ayana has consistently demonstrated her commitment to her community throughout her time. As a product of the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District, Ayana's educational journey includes Laurel Creek, where she was in elementary school, she was a shark, Grange Middle School as a grizzly, and her current attendance at Fairfield High School as a falcon. So she has served as both freshman and sophomore class president, wow, and this school year she was the ASB president. These experiences have not only honed her leadership skills, but also fueled her passion for ensuring every student's voice is heard. That's awesome, Ayana. We're incredibly excited to welcome Ms. Ayana to the board. Her proven leadership and dedication will be a tremendous asset as we work together to represent our students and strengthen our school community. Welcome, Ms. Polk. And Ms. Polk, according to our bylaw 9150 and Ed Code 35012, student board members shall be appointed to subcommittees. As you are new, and our former board member was on the governance committee and on the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District governing subcommittee. If you'd like to take the opportunity this month to review all the different subcommittees, and then next month let us know which committees you'd like to be on. Welcome. Right on. And item E, Superintendent, your report, please.
We missed one.
Oh, we missed two.
Hello, Donna.
Oh.
Not yet,
Not
almost.
yet. Not quite there. That would be E.
Trustee Selly. I just have a few comments to share in place of a more lengthy superintendent's report that I actually did about 2 weeks ago. Just want to give some updates. I really do want to extend gratitude to our governance subcommittee for the work that we did yesterday together in community on our board handbook. Our next time together will be July 9th, and I think that was time well spent. So thank you so much for your engagement and work on that. Even though the school year has ended, we have had some exciting events across the district. If you're not aware, we were actually featured on Good Day Sacramento for our internship program, where we have 2 students that are actually interns in our transportation department. And so you'll see in my Friday letter this week a copy of the video that you can take a look at in order to see that feature that we were in. I had the opportunity this morning to go to a couple different elementary sites and met with some of our rising readers. These are kindergartners. I did some interviews with them because, as I told them, my job is to make sure that they have the best education possible. They were very forthwith and insightful and quite a bit candid with their thoughts about how we can improve our schools. And so our communication team is working so we can put together a montage of some of their input that they provided me. So we will present that at a future date. I'm happy to announce that Region 4 AXA, we've had some award winners for our district. Dr. Daniel Garcia won an award for Alternative Principal. Dr. Cheryl County for Human Resource Administrator. Reagan Sheed from now K.I. Jones, but she'll be going over to Crystal Middle School, won for Assistant Principal. And our partner in our San Diego State University, helping to make sure that we've got administrators that are trained and that they have credentials. Dr. Michelle Shin. So these individuals were recognized last Friday evening. I really do want to extend a thank you to staff. We are approving quite a few plans and quite a few reports tonight. And I don't want to say they're a labor of love. They're just a lot of labor in order to get these things across the finish line by June 30th. And so I just really want to thank everybody for their hard work. And in closing, I'm really hoping that everybody will take a lot of time off this summer to relax, to restore. As we move forward into the new year, we're very excited about launching 25-26. And my very last thing is happy birthday, Monica Garay, who's celebrating a birthday tomorrow. She is a huge support to me and the board and the rest of the district, so we're just wishing you the very best. That is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Ditto on the happy birthday to Ms. Garay. Item 3E is the appointment of our 2025-2026 student board member-elect, Ms. Vanya Tiwari. Vanya, Superintendent, you have the floor.
Absolutely. A little information about our student trustee-elect. We're delighted to introduce Vanya Tiwari to everybody, new elect. Educated student at College High School, Vanya's passion for leadership and community involvement shines through her perfect 4.0 GPA and active roles in the American Sign Language, or ASL, community and film and television class. Vanya's experience on the Student Advisory Council, otherwise known as the SAC, where she advocates for students, has prepared her to be a strong voice for her peers. She particularly focuses on improving mental health support and promoting inclusivity across the district. As a future chairperson of the SAC, she plans to launch a district-wide student mentorship and academic support program. With her impressive academic record and leadership skills and commitment to service, Vanya is an outstanding addition to the governing board and will be an alternate this year, and then our student trustee for school year 26-27.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. May we have a motion?
To move approval of
Yes.
our new board member?
Absolutely.
I move approval with
Thank you,
zeal.
Dr. Tilly. May we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn and Dr. Hunley. All in favor, Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? No. All right. On that note, item F, congratulations. The superintendent will be administering the oath of office to Ms. Vanya Tiwari.
Photo walk, family. So come to you.
All right. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, repeat after me. I, Vanya Tiwari. One second, let me just do that. I'll do the whole thing. I, Vanya Tiwari, do solemnly swear
I, Vanya Tiwari, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Okay, this last part's just for me. With the authority granted to me by the Constitution of the State of California, I proclaim you duly appointed and installed to assume the duties as a member of the governing board of the Fairfield-Sassoon Unified School District. Congratulations.
Yes.
You go down.
Why don't we
Are we gonna all come down? Yeah, because somebody else
come down? You, because you're most important, get to stay right.
So it looks like we're going down foot.
Well, to the Polk younger siblings, you guys are literally her boss now. It's true. Okay, on that note, I would like to welcome Dr. Sheila McCabe, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, to present a recognition of Lieutenant Josh Kresha with the Fairfield Police Department in appreciation of his support of the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District. Dr. McCabe, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Board President Patero, Superintendent Sachs, and members of the Governing Board. I'd also like to ask Mrs. Kristen Witt to come join me because part of this partnership is also a result of her leadership. So Lieutenant Kresha, it is with, for those of you that don't know, for the last couple of years, Lieutenant Kresha has been our liaison between the Fairfield Police Department and the school district. And when situations arise, it is usually conversation between Lieutenant Kresha and Mrs. Witt, or Lieutenant Kresha and myself, sometimes at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, trying to resolve situations so that we can ensure that the campus is running safely. And while we've often had partners that we've been able to work with, I'm not sure that any have been as dedicated to this role as Lieutenant Kresha has been, willing to help us truly 24/7, 7 days a week. And it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for his dedication also to our community. So with that, Lieutenant Kresha, we have a proclamation of appreciation that I'm going to read to you. So whereas the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District strives to maintain positive district and community relations by working with local businesses, agencies, organizations, and community members to create partnerships. And whereas the district is aware that Lieutenant Josh Kresha of the Fairfield Police Department is committed to making a difference in our local community. And whereas the district is thankful Lieutenant Kresha has served as a liaison between the police department and the district. And whereas the district is grateful Lieutenant Kresha goes above and beyond maintaining effective communication with FSUSD staff. And whereas the district desires to formally acknowledge Lieutenant Kresha for working tirelessly to keep our students and staff safe. And whereas the district desires to formally acknowledge you for supporting our staff, schools, and community. Therefore, our Superintendent Sachs hereby proclaims the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District's desire and honest gratitude to you. In witness hereof, the 26th day of June, 2025. We can now clap. And I honestly believe one of the reasons why he is so committed to this community is he too is a Fairfield High School graduate, made in FSUSD. And so in addition to his proclamation, he's getting one of our Made in FSUSD pins that he can wear proudly, just not on his uniform.
Thank you so much.
Did you want to say a few words?
Sure, please.
You.
Yes, promise. Be quick. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a second to thank this board, Superintendent Sachs, Dr. McCabe, and Kristen Witt for the support that you guys have shown the Fairfield Police Department, and then specifically our Youth Services Unit, which encompasses the School Resource Officer Program. The relationship between this district, its staff, and the police department is something that is looked at with great admiration from our partners in law enforcement who don't always necessarily have that same relationship. So again, I thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank you all, and thank you, Chief Marshal, for coming down to support. We often say thank you to our military members who serve and thank them for their service, but we don't often thank our peace officers every single day for their service. So thank you all for your service and for your families for sharing you with us. Well, look at that. Falcons are representing in this house. We have Ms. Polk, we have Dr. Parr, and now we have Officer Kresha. Way to go, Falcons. On that note, we'd like to congratulate all of our honorees, and I'm sure Vanya's family would like to take her out to dinner. And everyone, thank you very much for hanging out. You're welcome to stay, but you can have the rest of the evening off. Have a good evening. You guys get to go home and make lists for her to do. Yes. Okay, we're on item 5, public comment. This is an opportunity for the members of the public to make speeches not to exceed 3 minutes on matters that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of this board and that are not on the agenda. If you would like to make a public comment and you have not yet received one of these, please, you can have an opportunity to fill out one of these sheets of paper to make a public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any members of the public who wish to make a public comment?
We've received no request for public comment this evening.
Cool. Moving on to our consent calendar. Let's see, other items to be pulled from the consent calendar. May we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Move approval.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Any discussion? No, maybe have, okay, Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Cool. Moving on to action items. Educational service. 11A, review and potential approval of the Proposition 28 Arts and Music in Schools Funding Annual Report. There's no presentation. May we have a motion?
Move approval.
Dr. Tilley, thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I would like to say, in reading this item on the Proposition 28, it was so awesome to see all of our schools, 16 of our elementary schools, 10 of our secondary schools experiencing this. If we had an opportunity to watch the winter concert at Grange, they featured all of these amazing artists there, and at PSA, at their winter concert as well, for the first time they had band, I think it was 100 students performing that at their first winter concert, and it was amazing. So I'd like to thank the superintendent and her staff and our district for organizing that and for spending these funds so our students really enjoy learning. So I'd like to thank everybody for that. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We did a motion, didn't we? Yeah, we had a motion. It was Flynn and Hunley. Okay. Potential 526, huh? Yeah, we did. Item 11B, review and potential approval of the 25-26 update of the 24 to 27 local control accountability plan. There was no presentation.
Move to approve it.
Yeah, so there was discussion. Yes, Ms. Tilley, Dr. Tilley.
I just want to say, even though it's like 7,000, how many? A lot of pages. That the scope and the depth of the work that has been performed in this LCAP is breathtaking. I truly appreciated the candor that was inserted into the areas where we need to focus and where we need to work. And by adopting this plan, we are telling, with the collaboration of our parent leaders, of our students, with the input of our community, this is how we're driving in the next 3 years. This is where we're going to focus. Doesn't mean we're rigid or inflexible, but it does mean that we have a shared purpose. And I'm really delighted to see that student achievement is high on that list of focus, because it needs to be. So I want to thank the superintendent, Dr. McCabe, all of the people that have worked so hard on this LCAP. It's a tome, but it will guide us well in the coming 3 years. So I support it wholeheartedly.
No, I agree the tone in how it was written in terms of what our achievements are, what our goals are going to be, and you can see incremental increases, which is excellent. So thank you very much. May we have a vote, Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. 11B, review and potential, that was 11B. 11C, review and potential approval of the 2025 LCAP federal addendum. There's no presentation. May we have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Thank you, Dr. Tilley, a second.
Second.
Second, Dr. Hunley. Any discussion? No, Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Item D, review and potential approval of revisions to the Educator Effectiveness Grant Expenditure Plan. There's no presentation. May we have a motion?
I'll move approval.
Thank you, Dr. Parr. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Tilley. Discussion?
Exciting.
Thank you very much. Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? No, that carries. Item E, review and potential approval of the 2025 Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, ELOP. No plan, there's no presentation. May we have a motion?
I'll approve.
Thank you, Dr.
Second.
Tilley, and Mr. Flynn seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Item F, review and potential approval of the Agricultural Career Technical Education Incentive Grant 2025-26 application for funding. There's no presentation. May we have a motion?
Move to approve?
Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Second by whom?
Dr. Tilley.
Dr. Tilley. Any discussion? Let's see, Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item G, review and potential approval of the Digital Technology Plan. There's no presentation. May we have a motion?
I'd like to move approval.
Thank you, Dr. Tilley. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Any discussion?
This was also another plan that was surprising in scope and breadth that I fully support.
Right, awesome. May we have a vote? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right on. Moving on to H, review and potential approval of the 2025-26 single plans for student achievement for Title I schools receiving community schools grant. No presentation. May we have a motion?
I'm going to move approval. I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Thank you, Dr. Tilley, for a second. Any discussion?
I just want to say that, those single site plans, just as the LCAP guides us, so too, the sites are focused, and I'm really excited that these sites will be receiving this community schools grant. This is kind of new territory for our district, and I know they're going to knock it out of the park, so I support this.
Thank you very much. And let's see, Ms. Polk. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12, action item business services. 12A, review and potential approval of the adoption of the 2025-26 annual budget. There's no district budget, and there's no presentation. May we have a motion?
Move approval.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Second. Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Dr. Tilley, any discussion?
Just thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I know. Thank you so much.
And superintendent and everybody who's worked so hard to get us here despite very uncertain waters. It is a joy to behold.
Thank you, staff. Thank you for that confirmation and for the affirmation. And Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Moving on to action item human resources. Item A, review and potential approval of a 3-year July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028 amended employment agreement for the superintendent, and that is me. And we don't have any public comments. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. And may we have a second?
Second.
Second, Dr. Hunley. Do we have discussion? Mr. Flynn.
Thank you. I'd like to take a moment to express my strong support for the approval of Superintendent Sachs' contract tonight. Throughout her tenure, Superintendent Sachs has demonstrated exceptional leadership, consistently working to ensure that all educational partners are included and represented in the decision-making process. Her forward-thinking and inclusive approach have led to meaningful improvements in student outcomes, strengthened relationships with our valued labor partners, and expanding collaboration with community partners, among many other things. Thank you, Superintendent Sachs, for your commitment to our district. I respectfully urge approval. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Right on. I thank you all. I want to thank you all for all of the work that you've done, as Dr. Tilley said, in our due diligence in being thoughtful in terms of the evaluation and also looking at this at the contract as well. So thank you very much for everybody for doing that. And may we have a vote, Ms. Polk? Oh, we did. We had a.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, enthusiastically. Moving on to item 13B. Yes, review and potential approval of the final tentative agreement between the Fairfield Student Unified Teachers Association, FSUTA, and the Fairfield Student Unified School District, effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. There is no presentation. We do have a public speaker. You have the floor.
Yes, we have Pam Williamson. Welcome to the podium. The floor is yours. Hello.
And here we go. No, okay. So I just want to thank you all. Last board meeting, we had a member share with you the collaborative nature of how bargaining went. And we were really happy to hear that, because that was a really powerful message that our bargaining team wanted to make sure that our membership heard about the collaborative nature piece. I just want to share with you personally that for me, the most important piece of how our bargaining cycle went this year was because of the conversations we had at the table. We were able to address things again, in that collaborative nature, but we also had time to listen to why proposals are being presented the way that they were. We may not have agreed on certain things, but we still continued that discussion, and I think that is so, so powerful. I also want to give a shout out to Linnea for helping us cross that finish line. When we were really close to everything, we had that one little piece that needed to be done. And of course, the board here approved it at a special board meeting on May 22nd, so we thank you for that. We feel like we're on our way to actually attract really highly qualified teachers. This is a great start, knowing what we have achieved through this collective bargaining. And we are looking forward to the exact same collaborative nature and discussions when we start up again in the fall. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. May we have a motion, please?
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Do we have a second? Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Is there a discussion? I would like to thank our district staff and also the negotiators on the FSUTA side for all that you have done in terms of working really hard to achieve this for our teachers and by extension for our students. So thank you very much. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody. And I believe that was ratified by over 85% of the teachers, so congratulations to everybody. Item C, review and potential approval of the revised salary schedule to reflect and the agreed upon salary schedule for FSMA, classified management, certified management, confidential management, assistant superintendent. There is no presentation. There's no public speakers. May we have a motion?
Move approval.
Thank you. Dr. Tilley, do you have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Parr. Any discussion? So Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, review and potential approval of the amended tentative agreement between California School Employees Association, CSEA, Fairfield Student, Chapter 302, Office Technical Business Services Unit, and Fairfield Unified School District, effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. There is no presentation. There are no public speakers. May we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Dr. Honey.
Dr. Hunley and Tilley.
Second, Dr. Tilley. Any discussion?
Yeah,
Yes.
Just a comment. And this also applies to FSMA and to all the other ones. So one of the things that I love about the way things panned out this year is that the board joined together in making sure that all of our employee groups were included in negotiations, given how weird inflation is right now and how hard it is out there. Being able to attract and retain and reward our employees is a luxury that I'm grateful that we are able to do. So I strongly support all of these contracts.
Outstanding. And I believe for that one, it was 100%, was unanimous in terms of their agreement for that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And was that D or that was E? That was E, whatever. That was D. All right, may we have a vote? Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Cool. Moving on to E, review and potential approval of the amended tentative agreement between the California School Employees Association, CSEA, Fairfield Students Chapter 302 Support Unit, and Fairfield Student Unified School District, effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. There are no public speakers. May we have a motion? I'll make the motion, and who would like to second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Tilley. Any discussion?
Same as last one.
Ditto. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Right on. Item F, review and potential approval of the revised salary schedule for the Ancillary Professions Association, APA, to reflect the 3.5% increase for the 2025-26 school year. There's no presentation. There are no public speakers. Maybe have a motion.
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Dr. Tilley. Any second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Hunley. Any discussion? No discussion. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right on. Action item 14A, review and potential approval of the authorization of the superintendent to make interim management appointments in advance of the August 21st, 2025 governing board meeting. There's no presentation. There are no public speakers. May we have a motion?
I move approval.
Thank you, Dr. Tilly. May we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Parr. Any discussion? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And now we go into information. Thank you very much for all those action items. Now we're going to information items. We're going straight to item number 18, and that is a governing board, item 18A, governing board self-evaluation. There are no public speakers, and so this is we're going to discussion on our self-evaluation. Is there any discussion? Mr. Flynn.
Okay. I know we're at the end of the agenda, but I want to just reflect on something. For board members, I would like to give some context on why there are two proposed revisions submitted for Goal 2. Goal 2 was adopted by previous boards and reads that board members are encouraged to, quote, commit the time and energy necessary to be an informed and effective leader, end quote. In this goal, there are sub-goals listed, as our other goals have sub-goals, which detail the specific ways that board members can work to meet this goal. In genuine and sincere support for board members wanting to work on their professional development, I submit to the superintendent an additional goal that read, professional, including but not limited to the California School Board Association CSBA Annual Education Conference, Masters in Governance Training, and the Brown Act Training, end quote. Unfortunately, I received support for the proposal. And there are two options being presented tonight. I would like to clarify that option B, for best, is the originally proposed language that supports board member participation in California School Board Association activities. It's crucial that we support these board member professional development opportunities and the goals. They help to educate board members about the Brown Act, allow opportunities to connect with board members from across the state and region, and help us be better prepared for decisions on the dais, as well as be better representatives of our trustee areas. Also, it is precedent set in the goal that there are specific detailed deliverables for each goal. This is helpful for both new board members and experienced board members as time goes on, so that we can know how do we meet these goals. It's not just vague language, that we can specifically address this. And also for the community, it serves as an accountability mechanism. So for transparency, accountability, I support the originally proposed language, which is option B for Goal 2. Thank you very much.
Any further discussion?
So, I hate to admit it, but I can't access that right now, so I can't look at at A. Is A just the existing language? Is that what we're talking about here? Great. Okay, thank you. It's on for information, not in for discussion,
Yeah.
right? So we're not voting on it tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
I don't
not
like
voting on it.
being
Yeah,
caught
it was just to bring
unprepared for
discussion,
me.
right. So just in response to that, that was cool. So what Mr. Flynn, in terms of his suggestion, what I suggested was that I thought there was not really, was a bit too specific, and I thought if we just opened it up to say, you know, that we all engage in some form of professional development, I think it leaves it open. So, I mean, I think a CSBA is a given. We tend to do that every year. But there are other opportunities besides, for professional development, besides just, including the Brown Act. All those are a given. But if you want to do other professional development, that I think that would be open to us all to bring that to the board because we agreed to that, right? So I thought if we just left it open and just engage in professional development, that would be all-inclusive as opposed to pointing specific items out. That was my suggestion, that we could have a discussion on that because we're going to bring that back for a vote next month, eh? So that's for something for everybody to consider if you want to continue to discuss. Yes, Dr. Tilley. And Ms. Polk, did you want to comment as well? All right.
I'll let you go.
Oh, did you want to comment? Yeah.
So, herein lies there's this maxim in law called exclusio unius excludio ultra, which means that if you include things specifically, you exclude other opportunities. I would rather have that expanded, and I also, quite frankly, am not comfortable with writing an open check to board members to self-select into whatever activities they want, whenever they want, instead of being thoughtful about, like, the Brown Act training is available at the CSBA conference. You don't need to pay separately for that. So, not that I don't trust my colleagues, you guys are amazing, and I think we're all very serious about that stuff. But I would rather retain discretionary language than I would limit it to these 3 items, not because I do agree, by the way, with Trustee Flynn and his comments regarding the desire to have, to continue that. I don't read option A as excluding that, so I would prefer A, just because it provides more flexibility.
That's something for us to consider when we come back for a vote next month. Is that cool? All right. Any more information? Nope. All right. Now we're on to item 19, communication information reports presentation. There's Fairfield Unified School District local indicator report. Dr. McCabe, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Board President Patero, Superintendent Sachs, and members of the Governing Board. This is a report that you've seen now a couple of times coming forward, and the state law requires us to bring it forward at the exact same meeting as the LCAP is presented and approved by the Governing Board, and so it's before you again tonight in order to meet that compliance piece with the state. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Nope.
Is action required, or is it
Nope,
merely the
it's just
presentation
information.
that
It's just
satisfies the
information.
legal
Yeah.
requirement? Thank you.
Cool. All right, now to item B, employee organization reports, EFSUDA, APA, CSEA, FISMA, in no particular order. You have the floor. We're all good, all right. Ms. Polk, the item C, student member report. You have the floor, young lady.
Thank you. I would just like to say good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to fulfill this position. My goals in this position is to make sure that every student feels seen and heard in what they do. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much and welcome. Item 20, board member written reports or no presentation. And now we're down to item 22, adjournment. I would like to echo Madam Superintendent's congratulations on your birthday. Ms. Garay, happy, happy birthday. Enjoy your cruise. Turn everything off and ignore us for your entire cruise. Everybody, thank you for this evening. And thank you, faculty and staff, for all you all did for the LCAP and for moving us forward. Have a wonderful summer. We'll see you next month. Meeting adjourned. Mr. Speed, you get to go home on time.